We're talking to Bambu. He's popularly known as Bambu in the entertainment world. Tell us about who is Bambu?
Bambu, I'm a cultural artist. First, I'm a community organizer and dad and a partner, but ultimately a community organizer and a performance artist, a cultural artist.
Bambu, how did you start in the music industry?
It happened pretty organically. After I left the military, I was looking for stuff to do. I started to express myself through the medium of hip-hop. I put out an album, and the Filipino community gravitated towards it. I did the Festival of Philippine Arts and Culture in 2002, and my career has just kind of moved forward since then.
I can see from the performance that you have a very special message. What is it?
Yes. My message is, for Filipino people specifically, especially Filipino Americans, is to build the bridge between what's happening in the Philippines and what's happening here. There's a strong connection. Obviously, our biggest export in our country is our people. We import everything, which is problematic. The indigenous people in our country are dying. The indigenous lands are being taken over in the Philippines, and our government has turned a blind eye and has been all about profit. Now we have a new president in office, so we'll see what's happening now. But again, my ultimate message is to build that bridge between Filipino Americans and the Philippines, because when we come to this country, our parents tell us, you know, the Philippines was a bad place. The Philippines is, you should eat all your food, kasi, you know, people back home, they're starving. So the picture that we are painted as Filipino Americans is not one of necessarily positivity of the Philippines. So I'm trying to erase that and show them that those ills that our parents talked about are directly connected to us here. The biggest income of our country is remittances being sent home, you know. So we need to address those issues and again build that bridge between, so we can actually help our folks back home.
And so how do you see this new administration? Judging from the very first few days of his administration.
Yeah, it's going to take some time for me to kind of get adjusted. I'm glad that he's having conversations with the people in the South, with the quote-unquote rebels in the South. I'm glad that he's actually having conversations with the Muslim community. I'm glad that he's taking active steps to bringing Joma home, you know, SMITHSONIAN Sison. Like, I think it's about time that our elders brought home to the land that he loves, his country. So for those things, I'm very hopeful, and we'll see. I go back to the Philippines in August, so we'll see.
Well, I'll let the people know, but do you have any designs or plans in the future to join the Philippine government, for example?
Negative. No, I think, you know, I believe in systemic change for the Philippines. I don't think that putting me in office is necessarily going to change anything, or me holding any kind of seat. I would love to dismantle that. Of the 80 provinces in our country, 78 of them are run by family clans, and I'd like to dismantle that as well, because I think that our government needs a true democracy that the people dictate.
Just a few final questions.
Sure.
For you, what would be the three main great concerns about the Philippines?
Well, as the PSR says, I believe it's bureaucratic capitalism. I'm sorry, the PSR is the Philippine Society and Revolution book that I've read numerous times. Bureaucratic capitalism, imperialism, and feudalism. Those are the three major problems of our country, and we need to tackle those head on.
Of course, we all know that November will be very crucial here in the United States.
Yes.
It's election time.
Yes.
And what is your special message, without really being you know, affiliated with any political party, but what's your message for the people?
Yeah, my message to the people is that they need to remember that change happens from the bottom and works its way up, never from the top down. And I think in these election years, we become confused in believing that one person sitting inside of a chair can create changes that would immediately affect us and get us the justice and the social change that we need, but that's not true. If you want to get that change, you need to go out there and organize. There are many organizations out doing it. You have Kabataan Makabayan, Pro People Youth USA in Los Angeles. You have the Alliance for Just and Lasting Peace in the Philippines. You have Bayan USA, Bayan International. You have many organizations that are working to get that change, so I think that we need to go out there and support them in this election.
Yes, and what would be the three most important points that you would like to focus on when you try to analyze the political candidates? What would be very important for you?
Oh, my goodness. I think that's a great question.
And topics also, of course, that would be a big concern.
Immigration is a big concern, being from California and living in Los Angeles. I think the economic disparity, as stated by candidate Bernie Sanders. I think that I agree with him in those respects, and I think issues around gender are something that are very, very important as well. You know what I mean? Equality, women's equality, LGBT equality, those are very, very important things.
I guess things in the world is changing. Like in the United States also, the political scenario is completely different from the past.
Yes,
How would you
absolutely.
comment on that?
As far as what's...
Well, the candidates that are...
Yeah, it's definitely, it feels
that
like a
are
reality TV show.
presumptive
That's for
nominees.
sure. It definitely feels like a reality TV show, but we'll see. Again, time will tell as we get closer to the election. We'll see what comes up. I think the most important thing right now is systemic police brutality has been happening. It is something that we need to focus on. I think that the Black Lives Matter movement needs to be supported in this election year, and I think that those things are very important.
And of course, America always gets it right. You know,
Sure.
anything happens
We'll
with always.
see.
And last but not least,
Yes.
you mentioned in your, the music about Philippines.
Yes.
What is your connection with the Philippines?
I mean, besides the fact that my parents migrated from the Philippines, again, as somebody who tries to build a bridge between the ills or even the culture of the Philippines, or trying to build a bridge between the Philippines and the United States, you know, my direct media connection is to see that true justice get seen all the way through. You know, for the people, for the peasants and the poor people of our country, that we see some true upliftment and real social change to benefit all the people.
And you were born in California.
I was born in Los Angeles, California.
Yes. Your message, because you're going to the Philippines for a concert?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
I'll see
And
you
what
guys
is
there.
your message for
I'll
all
see
your
you there.
fans? All right.
I'll see you there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take
Thank
care.
you very much.